Well, what do you know? I found a ton of stuff in this trailer, so I'm excited to break it down with you. Oh boy! By the way, before we get started, I just wanted to say that you guys are correct. There is going to actually be a Mandalorian season 4. Johnny Fav said he has been writing it already. He announced that a while back. I think like at Star Wars Celebration or something, but he did announce it. I'll be curious to see what happens. You know, this was filmed while they were doing The Last of Us. The Last of Us had a very long filming schedule. And so, you know, I don't know if Pedro Pascal, I mean, they always could do like an insert or something. I mean, they did make a plot point that he can't take his helmet off because, you know, he disgraced himself. But I can't imagine from a narrative standpoint that you would never see Din Djarin again. I mean, he's got to give some face time to, I mean, I don't know. I mean, they raised the stakes pretty substantial that if he takes that thing off again, you know, I don't know how many times they're going to let him get away with it. The armorer was pretty clear about it. It was weird that they wrote that into the show. But anyway, Jon Favreau, actually, I was looking up the season 4 thing because somebody was like, he announced season 4, Grace. And so I was looking into it and I saw that Jon Favreau was like, oh man, I gotta have all these rules about like what Mandalorians do what and who can take their helmet off and who can't. You know, maybe Din Djarin will join a different faction. He'll be like, hey, Bo-Katan, can I join your group, your helmet taken off group for a Darksaber? And as everybody's asking, where is the Darksaber? You think he'd be wielding that thing left and right, man? All right, so yeah, lots of great stuff in here, actually. Lots of great stuff. All right, so we start out with that great Mandalorian music, Ludwig Göransson, right? Such a good composer. Very Western. And there he is with a bunch of Mandalorians. They're like, oh, it helps that we have different styles to our helmets. The other ones look kind of janky, though. I'm like, that Beskar Steel's looking pretty sweet, Mando. He's like, that's right. You know, he's gonna have to. I don't know how he's ever gonna go to sleep. You know, you think that I mean, I guess that would break the code of the Mandalorians, but I mean, that looks like a very shiny bauble. But anyway, just like the Clone Wars and the Bad Batch show after it have been focusing on obviously the clones. Well, I think it's pretty clear that the Mandalorian has become a show about Mandalorians. Bo-Katan doesn't rate this trailer either. I think she showed up in the last trailer, though. So I guess this is a Mandalorian-specific trailer. So anyway, that orange helmet's really sending me. I'm like, this guy has such a crazy color scheme. I guess it's the planet that they're on, but I'm like, really? Burgundy, green, and orange? She's like, leave me alone. It's working for me. I don't have Beskar Steel. I have to do the best with what I have. All right. I'm like, it's a look, my friend. I love, by the way, I like to call this, you know, like Mando's midlife crisis vehicle. But it's a beauty. It's a beauty of a sports car. It's, of course, a Naboo starfighter, the kind that Padme Amidala used. And it's been refitted so that where the droid usually goes, remember that, that's Grogu's, sidecar in a way. You know, it's almost a little bit like a motorcycle too. But boy, it's a great ship because, you know, before it was like although you'll see how they sleep in a moment, but, you know, before they had a little apartment going around the galaxy, which I thought was pretty cool. But here, you know, the downside of traveling the galaxy in a sports car is that, you know, you have literally no room to move. But you do feel like you're in space. It's basically also like a convertible. Speaking of sports cars. And actually come to think of it, that's a pretty awesome way to go through space in a convertible. Actually, if you've ever ridden in the back of a convertible, luckily they have domes on them, but I did once. My hair just got whipped around everywhere. I almost lost the map. It was insane. All right. So Grogu's really like, oh, look at the world. And Mando is giving him a little speech about if you want to be a Mandalorian, you don't just learn about how to fight, but also to navigate the galaxy so you never get lost. But he's going to ask for directions because later in this very trailer, you see that they do stick a droid back there, which is why I think Grogu has to sleep in this compartment with him because they need to stick a droid back there. But Mando's asleep, but you know, Grogu ain't tired. He doesn't want to take a nap. It's adorable. He's so cute. Mando is very trusting. Grogu, we know, likes to touch stuff, put stuff in his mouth, although he gets to work some of the controls in this trailer, but I don't know if you should go to sleep with, I don't know, what's he going to do? Like all single parents, he's just going to have to make it work. All right, he's like, please don't kill us. Okay, so look at the blue flame on that ship. That's a sweet ship. So they land, and I had thought this was a new planet, but this is actually, I believe, Navarro from the from the previous, the other season, and I'll explain to you why. But boy, Greef Karga, the new magistrate, I thought he got a promotion. He has done a fabulous job. I mean, the city beautification project has gone amazing. I'm not surprised that Greef Karga keeps getting elected. Wow. I wish some other mayors were as good as this. So yeah, they're in here, and I don't like that at all. I know that it's like classic Star Wars, and it's a practical effect, but it looks so practical, I don't believe that it's real. I'm like someone's putting on a puppet show in that tree. So, although it's pointing, it's telling them where to go. That reminds me, actually, if you see stories about Southeast Asia, Southeast Asia. They've got like monkeys going around there, like they also live there. And I guess technically they do, but they're so human in some of their behavior that it's really bizarre. And so this is kind of, I guess, a little bit like that. So I would be all right with this if, that didn't look like a puppet. It looks like, what's his name? Ratso Rizzo, I'm blanking on, I think it's Rizzo from the Muppets, the rat. I feel like he's going to show up. He and Peppy the prawn are going to be like, doing a little routine down there. That's what I think it looks like we're doing here. So here's a nice shot of them walking together. Although that looks so CGI. There's, Marvel, not Star Wars, but, they're all part of the same Disney empire. Marvel's been taking some major hits. I mean, they've ticked off the VFX community so much, they're starting to talk to the press. You got to really tick somebody off in the industry to get them to talk to the press. And they keep doing it, I guess, because things aren't getting better. But we already know that Marvel has some VFX issues. We have eyes, don't we? But, that looks just so fake. It's surprising. I guess it's weird, especially because we go from something that looks too practical just a moment ago to something that looks too digital a second later. But boy, he's so shiny in his suit. All right. So boy, wow, look at that new outfit. Wow, Greef Karga looks amazing. I'm like, wow, that looks good on you. That's just a fantastic look. So cool. But look at this. What's even cooler? Look, it's a statue celebrating IG-11, aka Taika Waititi's droid who sacrificed himself in season 1. How great is that? Oh my God, I can't believe how awesome that is. Although don't get too attached to it because it's torn down in a later shot. But look, he's stepping on the helmet of a stormtrooper. I mean, how awesome is it to honor a droid like that? I love it. What a cool place. What a cool city. And that's awesome that Greef Karga did that. So they're like, hey buddy, what's up? So look, they're flying and they're in the soup. They're in the soup, man. And look, you can see there's a droid back there. That's why, again, Grogu has to ride with Mando up front. So it looks bad. It looks good thing they have navigation. And I think it's pretty funny. I'm like, the galaxy, huh? Then why do we have these living directions back there? But I think Mando would be like, it's how to navigate it, like, in terms of like, social stuff and, the different cultures and the different factions. And I'd be like, touche. So there's the armorer. He's like, I have nightmares about you reading me the business. Grogu's so cute. I'm ready for Grogu to talk, though. I will say. I mean, it's been cute for 2 seasons and a little bit of Boba Fett, Mando 2.5. But I'm ready for Grogu to speak. I'm like, okay, you're like over 50, buddy. Let's have some words in here. So he wants to go back to Mandalore. He's like, I must go back to Mandalore and redeem myself. I'm gonna weld this helmet to my head. And you can see it's a little bit, that's like the ruins of Mandalore. And Bo-Katan's like, I like it this way. And then there's the droid being put in. And Amy Sedaris. I mean, her character's name is Pelimoto, but it's Amy Sedaris. And I love when she says, may the force be with you. That's awesome. I'm so glad that this character is stuck around. She is a phenomenal character. I love her, even though she is playing Rhea Perlman from Cheers. But look at this. Fireworks and the glass domed plane right out of Wonder Woman. I mean, Wonder Woman already did it. I mean, come on, 1984 had so few really just perfect moments that you couldn't criticize at all. Let her have it. So, look, Grogu pushes the button. You can push the button. So cute. You can push the button if you say something. That's the trade-off. It drives me crazy. This stuff's never labeled, any of the buttons. And I think the production design team is like, give me a freaking break. I'm not labeling all these. Whee! On March 1st. It's like that faster, daddy, faster joke. So this is like, looks like Coruscant to me. I mean, I think that's Coruscant, right? Also, it always reminds me of Fifth Element too. But look at that building in the background. I couldn't quite discern what building that is, but you know what it looks like to me? The MI6 building of James Bond and real life fame from London. So I wonder if that's the new, Coruscant is a big part of Andor. Somebody here asked me in the comments of my reaction how this and Andor were related. Andor takes place before the original trilogy, leading right into it, leading into Rogue One, which leads into A New Hope, and this, of course, takes place after Return of the Jedi, right? The third one. I know, it's late. All right, so yeah. So look who it is. It's Dr. Pershing, with absolutely no cover. He's riding in a convertible. I guess they're not ever going to go very fast. There's no windshield at all. That's nuts. So he's looking around. That also looks very CGI, though. I'm like, you're totally not there. He looks like he's on a ride, actually, in Disney World, to be honest with you. So this, remember this guy, right? Looks like he got a little bit of an upgrade, too. He's from Kim's Convenience. And he's like, it's weird. There's no Cara Dune here. And these characters all interacted with her. But he's like, something bad's happening. And by the time you can do anything about it, it'll be too late. And Mando's like, want to bet? Look at Grogu there. I think isn't this Bo-Katan's like hall, right? I'm pretty sure she's the reverse shot of this, as I recall from the other thing. So there look like some kind of ruins, maybe. Is that Mando? I think so, yeah. It's like a Hamlet moment. And I think that's Grogu remembering. I think that's another. How many times are we going to do Order 66? But we kind of know what it looks like at this point. So here we go. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? I love TIE fighters. Look at Grogu's cute little lip and teeth. The imperfection makes it seem all the more real. That's adorable. It's so cute. Look at his little nose. Oh, he's so cute. But really, he needs to talk. So look at this. Is this droid offering him a drink or threatening him? Maybe a little bit of both. Because as you see, this is a droid bar. Maybe this is where he picks up his navigator. It's a droid bar. Oh, I love it. That's not great. And you can see some from the Clone Wars, some of those battle droids. They're very inept. I wonder if they're going to knock down all their glasses and stuff. Ha ha ha. Fantastic. I know so the Mandalorians deploy with the jetpacks. And look, see, that's the same statue. And there are the rods that held it up. But where did the IG-11 go? Where'd it go? Who stole the nanny robot? Nanny turned soldier, hero. So let's see here. So they're really taking care of business, using all their skills. And there's, I don't know if that's the Babu Frick. Those are definitely Anzelians who apparently not only look alike, but all wear the same outfit, right? That's a whole species, a whole race of mechanics. So I don't know. I wasn't like, hey, where's Babu Frick, to be honest with you. I never really cared for Babu Frick, but I think some people do. Although you'll notice a lack of Babu Frick toys. So I don't think he was that popular. So here's Grogu and his little stroller that he can apparently drive himself. Now look at this. Is that Thrawn back there? I was wondering if maybe that was Thrawn. I see some blue skin, perhaps. Thrawn never dressed like that, but maybe Thrawn got a new look. I think there's some chance that this would have to set up the Ahsoka show, which would be amazing. So I wonder if maybe that has to do with it a little bit. But anyway, whoever that is, they seem to have an enforcer. Or maybe this guy just, wants to get in the middle of it. Maybe he's looking for a fight. And this is, so I don't know if you've noticed this, but Twitter, for some reason, seems to be really pushing fight videos. Like, Twitter's just pushing hate. It's, like, so sad to see what it's become. But they, one of the things is, like, fight videos. And in a number of them, I'm like, that drunk person just, I think, wants to fight and is picking a fight intentionally. So maybe that's what's going on here. But that is that's a Tal's They are native to snowy regions. And there's a famous one called Muftak from the original Star Wars movies that hung out, I think, in the cantina and had a pal and like interacted with Han Solo. This guy seems to be wearing like a diaper. He's like, that's how much the cold doesn't bother me, man. It's Elsa. Elsa, what happened to you? So, and that thing thinks it's going to take on Baby Yoda. By the way, what is that green thing? What did he rip away from him? I'm curious. So he goes flying. I told you, he's a drunk guy looking for a fight. F around and find out, Tals. F around and find out. That's a saying across the galaxy. And there comes Grogu, and he used the Force. And I'm like, why couldn't I see him use the Force? Why did you have to do it in the cave? Hopefully that's just an edit for the trailer, and I hope that we get to see him actually do it. If you're going to show me some fight videos, I guess I was just like, I don't like fight videos. And then I was like, but I would like to see fighting in my show. But clearly Grogu's fighting for good, man. I hope he has something to say. I hope that right before, after they cut, he has like a fun action hero retort. So yay, Disney Plus. I like that. Must be 18 plus to subscribe. And they think there's some children who are like, I gotta see what happens to Grogu. I mean, I don't mean, how are they gonna enforce that? I guess if anyone gets upset, they can be like, we wrote it on the trailer, man. I don't want to hear it. All right, so I thought, as I said, there was a surprising amount there, and I'm very curious to see what happens. I'm excited to see. I'm curious to see where the series is going to go from here. If the Mandalorian in question will continue to be Din Djarin, will they switch to a different Mandalorian? But everybody loves Din Djarin. Also, I got to tell you, having just literally watched The Last of Us for the past week because I've been doing my coverage of it, and because the characters are quite similar, not only in terms of like what they're doing, but in tone. The performances are very similar. I feel like it's Joel. And the question is, Pedro, someone might argue that Pedro Pascal doesn't have range. That person would be wrong, because Pedro Pascal can be quite funny. He's very good at comedy. So I think he does have, also major stars, if you want to be a big star, you don't want to have too much range because you want to have a brand. So, let's see. Although, I would say that with this and Diego Luna over in Andor, there's some great Latino representation going on in Star Wars. So I think that's phenomenal. That's great. Two very talented actors. But let's see. I'm curious to see how this show does in the ratings. I'm very curious to see how The Last of Us did in the ratings. It was a holiday today, so they didn't announce it. So HBO probably should announce it tomorrow, and we'll see. We'll see what we're dealing with here. So what did you think? Share your thoughts down below. Subscribe today. And of course, as always, you can check out some more videos right now.